Hey, what's going on everyone, this is iReviews back with another video, and today I will share with you guys some of the best tips, tricks, and hidden features of the new iPhone 15 Pro and the 15 Pro Max that I believe every iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max owner should know and use on their device. Now we're starting things off with the new action button. Now for the new action button, you will have a lot of different actions you can assign that to. But do you know that if you go to your settings and you go to the action button here and you actually choose camera, you will actually have an option here to choose which camera you want to launch when you press the button. Not just a simple photo camera, but if you tap right here where it says photo, then you will have 5 different options. So you can go to photo mode, selfie, video, portrait, or the selfie portrait mode. As easy as that, you can just launch any of these different modes for the camera that you want. Probably one of the best new options of the action button is the ability to run shortcuts. Now when you go to the shortcut section right here, you will get a button where you can just choose any shortcut you want. And you will also have preset shortcuts right there that have been created from Apple. So I can choose open app and then I will get the list of my apps and I can just choose any app there. I can launch my favorite contacts or just start creating a new note. So these are preset, you don't actually need to create these shortcuts. And then right here you will have the shortcuts that you have created, or you can just explore any of the apps right here and just choose any shortcut you want from any of the apps, and then of course just use the action button to invoke any of those shortcuts. A really interesting new option for the iPhone 15 Pros is the ability to choose your primary lens. So you will have the 1x, 2x, and the 5x lens. Well, you can set your primary lens by going to your settings, go to the camera options, and then scroll here where it says main camera, and here you will have the ability to actually choose the default lens which you want to use for your device. So right here you can see we have the default lens, so we will have the 1x, 1.2, and 1.5. So you will have from 24 up to 35 millimeters, and you can pick any of these to be the primary lens, basically the default lens that will launch the moment you launch the camera on your iPhone 15 Pro. Really interesting also right here under the camera settings and main camera is the ability to choose between 2 different lenses. On the main camera, basically on the 1x, you have 2 different lenses. You will have the 28 and the 35 millimeter, and you can switch between those if you have both of them enabled by going to the camera. You can see we have 1x, just tap on 1x right there, and you can switch from 24 to 28 and to 35 millimeters. Now this right here is a pretty cool new option that Apple has added to the new iPhone 15 Pros. You know, on your iPhone, sometimes you might turn on the flashlight accidentally and maybe even keep it like that for a really long time because you don't notice that you have the flashlight turned on. Well, now on the iPhone 15 Pros, if you have the iPhone's flash turned on, you will get right there an icon on the dynamic island which indicates that the flashlight is currently on the device. What you can do is of course tap on it, it will show like this, and you will be able to tap there to actually turn it off. Now that Apple has changed the silent button to the action button on the iPhone 15 Pros, you will be able to have the silent button on the control center. Well, that's by default now, it is added to the control center right there, and you can see just right here you can tap to go to the silent mode and go to the ring mode. As easy as that. You can also do that from the settings. Simply head on to your settings, go to sounds and haptics, and you will have a button here to turn on or off the silent mode. Another thing you will notice on the iPhone 15 Pro is that when your device is on silent mode, you will get that little icon right there on the status bar, and it stays like that for as long as your iPhone 15 Pro is on the silent mode. Well, if you don't want to see that on the status bar of your device, head on to your settings, go to sounds and haptics, and you will have here a button that says show in status bar. You can just tap on it to actually remove that icon from the status bar. A great new thing on the iPhone 15 Pros is that it actually shows you the battery cycles that you have on your device. So head on to your settings, go to general, about, and just at the bottom right here you will see your information about the battery, the manufacture date, the first use, and then also the cycle count, which is really important of course for the battery health of your device. You will notice that once this increases, of course the battery health will start dropping, and it should actually stay just above 80% at around 500 cycles. So when you see your battery health dropping, just go ahead and take a look at how many cycles you have on your device. That way way you will notice whether the battery is aging fine or not. The iPhone 15 Pros also have some different settings when it comes to battery charging. So when you go to battery and you go to battery health right here, you will now have charging optimization. You will have a few different options. So you will have charging optimization. Basically, this works as usually does with charging optimization on other devices as well, but you will also have then the 80% limit, which basically will limit the charge of the battery to 80%. So no matter how much you keep your iPhone plugged in, your device won't charge above 80%. Something really cool about the new iPhones is that when you go to set the default wallpaper of that iPhone, you will have actually the option to also set the other colors of the other iPhones. So this is the default wallpaper of the natural titanium iPhone. But if I go to customize right here, I can swipe and go to the blue one, the white one, or the black one. So choose between any of the different default wallpapers. Now here's one of the coolest new features of the iPhone 15 Pros. Of course, these iPhones now have USB Type-C, and this allows you to also charge your other devices using your iPhone 15 Pro. So if I have an older iPhone right here, I can use the USB-C to Lightning, and you can see right here I can charge this iPhone. Or if I want to charge my AirPods, this will be very useful, especially when it comes to AirPods. Probably not that practical charging other iPhones because it will drain the battery on your iPhone 15 really fast. But when it comes to smaller devices, like of course an Apple Watch or maybe your AirPods, you can actually use this to just charge your AirPods as easy as that. You can just go ahead and charge your AirPods using your iPhone and of course a USB-C to Lightning cable. And last but not least is another hidden feature of the iPhone 15 Pro and the 15 Pro Max. Now Apple never talks about this, but it actually turns out that the iPhone 15 Pro and the 15 Pro Max have more RAM memory than last year. They now have 8 gigs of RAM memory. Now the previous RAM memory on the iPhone 14 Pro models was at 6 gigabytes, and there were rumors that this year it will actually be the same on the iPhone 15 Pros, but it turns out we now have 8 gigabytes of RAM, even though on iOS that's never actually a problem. iOS does a great job when it comes to RAM memory and managing tasks in the background and things like that. But it's great to see that Apple has actually stepped up their game, and they have actually added 2 more gigs of RAM memory for the Pro models, which now have 8 gigs of RAM memory. So that is it for this video, guys. These are some of the best tips and tricks and hidden features of the new iPhone 15 Pros. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. Of course, subscribe for more, and I'll see you on the next one.